afternoon. I am pleased to be joined by our Election Commission Executive Director, Claire Woodall-Vogt, to announce some very exciting news. As we have the ramp up for the November 3rd election, we had some conversations and thought it would be exciting, and we thought it would be beneficial to the media and to the public to give you more information and be as transparent as possible as to what is exactly going on with the election. So why don't you give me a break here, because I am going to have him take a break for a minute. Give me 1 second, I apologize. So as I was saying, we wanted to make sure that you had all the information that's going to be helpful as we ramp up to the November 3rd election. So I'm very pleased to announce that the Election Commission now has a brand new website, milwaukee.gov/414votes. The 414 Votes website provides all the crucial information voters need to safely cast a ballot in the 2020 general election. This colorful, easy to navigate website focuses on the experience of the Milwaukee voter and provides users with a straightforward way to access all the information and tools to vote safely. One of the key features of this website that I find particularly intriguing is the voter tracker, which is what I'm most excited to share with you. The tracker will be updated daily. Voters and the media can log onto the 414 Votes website and view a barometer of how many absentee ballots have been issued and returned in Milwaukee, as well as how many registered voters there are and how many early voters have voted. This tool allows us to be as transparent as possible about the election. Claire and her team created this, and it was created to instill in voters a sense of confidence that the city is doing everything it can to provide fair access to voting and that every ballot is counted. And so let's start out. I would like to share our statistics for yesterday, October 21st with you. 79,931 absentee ballots have been returned of 131,031 that have been issued. There are 315,460 registered voters. Yesterday, our first day of early voting, we had 4,861 individuals who took advantage of the opportunity for early absentee voting in person. The website also breaks down how users can register and vote by mail, online, or in person. Users can learn more about what constitutes a proof of residence document, where safe vote drop boxes are located throughout the city, and they can even request an absentee ballot using the website up until the deadline of October 26th, which is coming up quickly. But bear in mind, you're going to have to, under current law, get that absentee ballot back by November 3rd. The 414 Vote website further breaks down the fundamentals of early in-person voting, including mentioning what you need to bring with you, where to early vote, and the deadline to vote early, which is Sunday, November 1st. Finally, the website lays out what to expect on election day in terms of COVID-19 precautions at the polls and where to find a polling location. And as of today, we're looking at, I think, and Claire can correct us if I'm wrong, 173 polling places on November 3rd. So please use your power at the polls. Do not sit this election out. Make a voting plan today and make sure your vote is counted. Now I'll turn over to Claire, who has done a great job along with her staff to prepare us for this important election. Claire?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, so we were really excited to launch this and thought it would be very useful to the public and to the media to start including these daily statistics that are often reported at the county or state level, but to have one centralized area for the city of Milwaukee. And our intent with the website is really to have this be the voter education page, as opposed to having voters have to navigate multiple, the state website, our website, which also has candidate information, working for the polls. So this is really an education tool that we hope to continue throughout the years to improve, have videos, and really have it make voting easy to understand for City of Milwaukee voters. So again, it's milwaukee.gov/414votes. Happy to answer questions about it and really looking forward to utilizing it as a new space to really communicate with voters going forward.
So pretty straightforward, but again, I think it's something that you might all want to look at it on a daily basis. And we'll be, as I said earlier, we'll be updating on a daily basis. But I think what you're seeing is you're seeing really an unprecedented demand for early vote. That we know without question. And it'll be interesting to see at the end of the day whether this results in more voters overall or whether we have seen a change in voting habits, not necessarily a change in turnout. And I think that remains to be seen. So pretty straightforward. If there's any questions, we're happy to answer any questions. I see when the total reported to WC was 4,025. Why the 25% discrepancy in what you are reporting today? Claire, I'll hand that over to you.
Yeah, so the WEC is reporting on what is actually in WisVote at the end of each day. The numbers we're giving to you are the actual numbers. So yesterday, the state's website, the database experienced a delay, so we had to handwrite a lot of our envelopes. And then the state's numbers will never include voter registrations at early voting in real time. So the numbers that you get from that website will be the actual physical count, not what has just been entered into the database throughout the day. So yesterday's numbers that the WEC reported didn't include their own technical glitches that happened with the database or voter registration.
And there's a second question there that I'm going to have you answer as well, Claire. What time will it be updated daily, and will it show a time/date when it was last updated?
So for the early voting statistics, I will update them when they are complete. So last night, we worked very late. Zablocki Library's last voter didn't leave until 8:05 last night. So it got updated at about 10 o'clock. But I think that's a great idea. I will start to put the time and the date that it was last updated, but we won't ever release the early voting totals for the day until they're complete from all sites.
Allison, I think that answers your question. So I think that's it. Again, pretty straight. Well, wait, there's more. There are more questions. What are your reactions thus far with Wisconsin surpassing the 1 million mark of absentee ballots? Additionally, what are your thoughts of Milwaukee's numbers thus far? I think it's pretty amazing that we're seeing this many people voting this early. Now, again, what we don't know and what we won't know until Election Day is whether this translated to an increase in voters or whether it translates into a change in practice. But it is pretty monumental, I would say, that we have seen this significant change in voting patterns, at least. And I feel the same way about Milwaukee's numbers. The fact that we've had so many people request the absentee ballots, a high percentage of those people have already returned those ballots, I think tells you that there's a lot of interest in this election.
So Jeremy,
And the next question,
yep.
Claire, I'll let you take the next one.
Okay, so Jeremy asked about my predictions for the number of absentee ballots and if it's still between 150 and 200,000. We do still think that we will have between 150 and 175,000 ballots to count on Election Day. One of the reasons for creating our thermometer is to really drive voters to return their ballots and not to hold on to them until Election Day. That is one statistic where the city of Milwaukee is a little bit less than the rest of the state as far as our percentage of returned ballots. But we do think that we are expecting to see around 40 to 50,000 early voters over the course of the next 10 days, and that we're going to have our voters return their absentee ballots. So I'm standing by the 150 to 175 number.
All right, great. Well, again, thank you all very, very much. I'm sure we'll be talking numerous times before the election. So we appreciate your interest in this. And thank you, Claire. Good job.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.